all eating your food, Ruby? Were they eating your baby's food? No, don't go in there. Fred, you should be ashamed. White. Snow's on the other side of the wire trying to figure out how to get in. Betty, no chocolate egg today. And Lucy, what about you? I think you did because I saw little barred rock feathers in the nesting box. Are you behaving, Barney? Hmm? Here comes Desi. Look at your big, gigantic baby. Oh, my goodness, Ruby. He's a big boy. I think they're all boys. Oh, brother. This was the little fat one that I liked so much. This one doesn't have as much of a comb. This was number 2. Oh my goodness. Snow can't figure out how to get in here all of a sudden. Silly chicken. Look at those pumpkins. Look at the size of these pumpkins all of a sudden. There's one under my hand. Oh my goodness. Oh, and look at the beans. I thought we were all done with the beans, but apparently not. Oh my goodness. Look at this one over here. Gee whiz. Apparently these get to be 60 pounds. Still waiting on my cantaloupes. That's a big one in there hiding. I'm going to try and get this last tomato plant out of here because I took some onions out of a pot that I can put these in. Look at those ridiculous pickling cucumbers. They're so beyond. I mean, that would be about the biggest I would want to use right there. So I'm going to pick this row of peas. Chris is picking the other row. I just want to look again. Come on, cantaloupes. Should be a lot more. We just looked at cantaloupes in the grocery store. There's a tiny one. A couple days ago. Another tiny one there. Lots coming. There's one that's not so tiny. I saw another one here. There you go. But there's some that are another tiny one. The tiny ones are popping up everywhere now. Absolutely everywhere. But there's some. There's a fairly big one. $6 for these for a little cantaloupe in the grocery store. That's the biggest one, I think. So yeah, Alberta grown cantaloupe, $6 for a little wee thing. And I'm gonna have to get some of this pumpkin canned, I guess. I'm going to have to pick some more yellow beans too. Look at them. Oh my goodness. Massive ones in there. I still don't have the other 3 or 4 turnips. This one's coming right out of the ground. This one too. That's weird, it's kind of long. They're pulling the fabric right up again, so I guess we're gonna have to pull those. But look how big, these stalks are so much smaller. I'll have to look at our chart to see what corn this was. I mean, these ones are not very tall at all. They've got the biggest cobs on them. And then look how tall this stuff is down here. Well, I guess some of them are getting fairly big. There's still one coming there. So this will be an interesting experiment. Maybe we'll put a couple rows in next year if this goes well. It certainly grew without any issues at all. Chris wants me to point out that this is the pail he picked and that's the pail I picked. And his pail is much bigger. And no, you can't have any. There is definitely another picking of peas. I didn't think there would be, but there's tons still on the vine. And there's still tons of new growth at the top of the vines. So, there will definitely be another picking on both of these rows of peas. Now, a friend of mine who watches the videos is having a hard time figuring out what we're doing. So there's the gate to the property. You come across the driveway in this way. There's the garden up there in front of the shed. This was actually a horse shelter, and Chris put doors on it to make a 10 by 24 shed. Now you can't see it, but the coop is on that side, just around. We walk through there, and the coop door is on that side. So this is the current tiny house that we're living in. That was over here, and we moved it over there with the crane. And there's the meat bird run and the barn. So there's the old sea can that was along here and now is sort of like a back wall. So it's out of sight from the road too. That's what we call the 20-footer. That one has the solar system and the washer and dryer in it temporarily, in the freezers. So there's going to be a little wall here so we can walk into the room that's going to be created there. So the one I'm on now, this 20-footer, and you can see it's not a high boy, is the one with the red door. So basically you walk in the door, there's the wardrobes, and you go over here, and this was where the door was onto this new one. So this one here is the one that has the kitchen and the bathroom in it. There's the stovepipe from the wood stove. And that's the vent for the off-grid range. So now you can see how this one's a 20-footer, these are 40-footers. So that one's going to be like the entryway, the freezers, and food storage. Kind of like a foyer entryway. So now this one is the one, like I said, that I'm standing on top of now, that has the bathroom there, and the kitchen, and utility room with the food vaults back there. And then the passageway, you can remember, is right beside the wood stove. So that's where that opening was cut. So you're going to walk through. We have to cut the other piece of steel on this one. And this is that barrier, it's like rubber that we put on, and we will end up putting a piece of steel over this too. So I'm hoping this is going to make sense now. So this one is going to have the bedroom there, and then this will all be living room, and then there's going to be a doorway going from the living room into the greenhouse, which is going to go all the way along here. And that's why we're moving that solar array back to there, where you can see the new posts behind the orchard. The male turkeys are fluffing themselves all up. Chris is trying to be nice, and he's getting pecked for his efforts. So once again, door coming in here, hang your coat up there, door going through here into the kitchen where the wood stove is, and then this opening will go through here. This will be living room. Whoops, Chris told me not to trip on this wire and fall off. Ooh. Now the other thing I don't like, this one has the spray foam insulation, so when I step on it, it's solid. This one, oh my goodness, is it ever thin and wobbly. Like, it feels really not good walking on here. So, because the insulation's not done in this one yet. So the greenhouse is going to go all the way along here. And, oh my goodness, I got to get off this one because it's so weak. This one is firm to step on because of the, that's the other thing about the spray foam, is it adds structural integrity to whether it's wood or, now I am afraid of heights, so I really don't like being here. But the greenhouse is going to go all the way along this one and end where the old sea can is. So because there's going to be like a wall there with the end of it with a door in it, arranging the sea cans the way we did, we've got a U here, So now this is going to create a room in here that's about, I think, 12 by 19 feet. So that's going to be really nice. And we have a skylight we're going to put in the roof of this. I got it at an auction for 25 bucks. It's one of those really expensive ones. It has the trim kit too. So once again, that's where the solar batteries and everything are. The washer and dryer temporarily. There's the old tiny house over there that we have to live in until, I know I'm making the camera go blurry, and the worker bee. So there's where my bedroom window was. So that's the 20-footer. Walk in there, that's the entryway. Go across here, there's the wood stove. Go through here. This will be the bedroom and living room. But the best part of the way we arrange these, I think, is going to be this. Because it's sort of created like an outdoor room that I think the stuff, a lot of the plants will still do well in. But we have extended the greenhouse a little bit because it's starting there. And it's going to go all the way almost to the front, so it's going to be 48 feet long instead of 44. Now you can see where I'm standing. There's the tip of the little greenhouse, and that's the orchard out there, what I call the orchard. So I hope that helps everybody. And like I said, you can see the garden fabric and the posts we've got ready to move the solar array to. Hope that helps, Christine. That's the potato patch too that's full of weeds. Oh my goodness, the weeds are 3 feet high. I think I might go out and just pull the biggest ones. And then, like I said, you can see the garden in front of the shed there. And then the chicken coop is sort of on that side of the end of the shed. So, there you go. You got the whole lay of the land. Entryway, potato patch, garden, shed, tiny house, the new tiny house that I'm standing on, barn, old sea can. That's where the garlic is back out there in that wild looking mess. And then the orchard is behind the old sea can. The turkeys and the chickens are loving the old sea can too because there's grass under there and it's shady. So they have like another great spot to go to when that's nice and cool and a place to run away from predators. Now that is also where Chris has been digging into the hill that we're hoping to use to make a root cellar. Now, believe it or not, I actually hate going down more than I hate going up a ladder. I find this very difficult to get turned around and I shouldn't have worn my stupid garden shoes either because they're so floppy. You can hear all the coyotes. Pretty eerie. There's usually a whole bunch on this side of the road going at the same time. It often sounds like we're completely surrounded by them. So now that I did the tour from up above again, I'll show you. So this is going to be the entry door. We've already bought a nice knob set to match this one. So this is going to be like where the bed frame here, hopefully sell this, is going to be the 3 freezers. We're going to leave those wardrobes there because we can use them for winter coats and all kinds of stuff. And then so I put that coat rack we made there. And then we'll probably put maybe another food cart here. So this was the entry door that you're all familiar with outside. And then so I walk in, here's the wood stove. You saw the chimney up there. And then right beside it is going to be the entryway into the other sea can. To the bedroom's going to be left, living room right, and right ahead of this is going to be the door going into the greenhouse. So we've got the utility room in here, and the washer and dryer hookup is in here. The washer and dryer hookup is temporarily in that one, but there's only cold water to it, which I don't like. I like to wash bedding and towels and things like that with hot water, so that is the washer and dryer is gonna go in here. So I think that Should help everybody. And then my bedroom down there that I've got, or sorry, bathroom that's full of junk right now. Now we keep moving the new hens from the perches outside into here. So I've got Betty, which one are you, sweetie? Lucy, and I think Laverne and Shirley are both in here. So they are, some of them are coming into the coop on their own, but normally I bring all the new ones in and I put them on the perch here together, because I want them to get used to being in here. And no, not you guys. Last night we found one turkey in here again, perched with the chickens, you kooky turkeys. You look pretty big and delicious. I think it's time for you to go. Now, Ruby is actually, she was out quite, oh, these guys keep going in and eating Ruby's food. Get out of there, Viv. Come on, out. Ruby's at the back clucking at them. Aren't you, sweetie? Back there in bed with her babies and these nuisances. You guys should be going into the coop like good chickens. I think I might try and grab some of them, and I'm gonna take these guys and put them in. Chrissy's in the middle of the roosters there. White was hard to catch. She's very elusive. Well, Snow and White. So I've got them all in. I've done a head count. And they're all going to sleep now.